Living is what scares me. Dying is easy.
Welcome back to another edition of Cry From the Dabbleverse, even though now I'm starting to think that I might call this Cry From the Rippaverse, because what we have tonight is even more Eric July related content that I'm still uncovering. And I couldn't say no to this because this is called My Apologies. This is a video from Eric July called My Apologies. So, of course, All Apologies had to take a look at this. And apparently I'm just like so bad about shaking my my monitor. I'm gonna have to get a better desk. Hopefully it's not too annoying, but Eric July is caught up in another beef with EVS, and I'm sure a lot of people know about this already. I don't know about it. So that's what this is all about. This is me uncovering why everybody has so much beef with Eric July. And it's the 4th of July. Honestly, I've been out drinking and looking at the pretty colors in the sky, the fireworks, where I had family over and we're having a great time. And I decided what better way to celebrate the 4th of July than with Eric July. So without further ado, let's add Eric July to this. Oh, I'm going to do it like this. I think this is a little better. Trying to get better about the format of this show. But let's find out what Eric July has to apologize for.
You know, friends that care about me have given me some very needed constructive advice recently. I've had some heart-to-heart private conversations. And for example, one of my bros, and Jeremy from G&G, you know, he had to hear from me a lot about that whole Zack Snyder situation when we spoke privately. And he took it.
Zack Snyder,
and like the good friend that he reciprocates, man.
The Justice
and
League,
knowing that
course.
There's some things that I should improve on, he recently let me hear it, and it was perspective that I needed, and it was also
Zack Snyder is telling Eric July he needs to be better
to this new reality. I went from being the streamer that was very interactive with even my haters to now the owner of a multi-million-dollar business. And though I've gotten better, I've not completely shook off those old habits. That's part of learning to move differently. And I have to learn to accept that this is a new chapter. That's why I've been saying that I'm moving differently in 2024. The growth of the Rippaverse changed everything,
so
including my own life.
And I need to
the one thing I admittedly do not like are people going after my employees and friends. And our explosion made some people feel some kind of way. And unfortunately, this means that people will be caught in the crossfire. I have no problem making myself vulnerable with this. But as an example, the Saska sisters have been nothing but awesome to myself, this company, and its fans. I take great exception to the recent attacks against them.
All right, now this is a whole other thing that I need to uncover. The Saska sisters.
One in particular is them, you know, twins spotting other twins from a set van and tweeting about it. Of course, with horror, there's going to be some things that people find repugnant, and I don't need to defend anything, justify anything that I had nothing to do with. It can be inappropriate, raunchy, and degenerate, but I don't have to disavow something that I had nothing to do with. But some are taking these films that they've acted in very early on in their careers, and they're treating it as if they were real. Everybody that has worked with them, from Dean Cain to Glenn Jacobs, they always have nothing but good things to say about them. And they've grown so much as individuals. I've had those conversations with Jen about reconnecting with God, and those conversations have been amazing. And truly, that's who she answers to, not me.
People only care about Terry Hatcher.
You all know how young and dumb I was, so I take exception, again, to people operating as if repentance, forgiveness, and growth aren't a thing. Social media mobs trying to claim that there are these satanic feminist SJWs trying to infiltrate is insane. I'll give you another example. They are now against this trans stuff that's being pushed onto these minors. And you can see that maturation yourselves in those conversations that we've had about stuff on our streams. After all, I did learn about them writing Marvel's Black Widow, a story in which Nat takes it to traffickers and pedophiles, which is far more recent a thing to judge them by. It sucks that people are attacking them due to these social political views that they also no longer even have. Nice. They are not some raging SJWs, and this has nothing to do with them, as they are a means to an end. They are being used to simply attack me.
Some might say they're
things that
social justice warriors.
But I will never fire anybody over social media mobs and will stand by my employees. As I've said before, I wanted to solve economic problems by building this business as well.
I would have solved my economic problems
to feel like their livelihoods are controlled by
money.
mobs instead of their performance. Even if what I said about these individual politics, if it weren't the case, it wouldn't matter because it has nothing to do with the Rippaverse. We don't do that political hive mind thing over here. I will work
that's what it was all
with
about.
Anybody that respects our vision and our customers as long as they are good
I don't know,
job.
but
I'm protective of
the
what we are
Rippaverse was
building.
about
Even I
getting
separate
away
my personal
from
political views from the content of the Rippaverse. Which would make it a conservative ANCAP creating a superhero cop team like Alpha Corps. Everybody knows to leave it all at the door. And should personal views get in the way of business, they won't be here. We can't really be infiltrated. I'm the 100% sole owner. We don't have a board, and we bring people in based on merit. However, I'll never be a fan of cancel pigs going after people that work for us or with us. They don't deserve
what about people that
this has even happened with content creators being roped into foolishness that they want no parts of. I started this company to fix problems and have a return to normalcy. I can only control what I can control. I have a lot more clarity, though, in what I need to do. I've reached a status that transcends anything I've done before. I'm going to be loved, and I'm certainly going to be hated. And people are going to make up some wild things about myself and my company, and there's nothing I can do to really change that. Lies claiming that I've attacked other creators that I never did. Lies about me attacking economic models that I never did. Lies about our company's cash flow and funding. There's nothing I can do to really change the perception that some people have of me. They'll conjure up whoever they need me to be for their own narratives. So here's what I'm going to do. I need to fully embrace being the owner of a multi-million-dollar business. And I need to show that with my online interactions. Some people are not going to like it, or it's going to take some time getting used to, but this is a much needed evolution. The tone for the Rippaverse is set by me. I need to do a much better job of facilitating enthusiastic, engaging conversations and highlighting those that want this fun sandbox. My primary interactions need to be with fans. Positivity needs to be the key. Again, not everybody will understand this, but it's what's best. The people that deserve acknowledgement are the fans and the supporters. So I'd like to personally apologize, first of all, to my employees, current and future. Contractors as well.
I'm apologizing to my future employees.
Have to deal with unwarranted hate just because you work with us. And fans that publicly support us will sometimes be harassed. And that's why fandom is so important, because you have each other's backs. I also want to apologize to all of you for being far too loose, because I can do a much better job in focusing on these fans. I take full responsibility for that. The monetize your haters era, that's been done for like 10 months. And now we're moving into a different era. Some of you have been big fans of ISOM and Alpha Corps. And if you don't like either of those, that's fine too. You're free to that opinion, and criticizing doesn't make you a hater. Perhaps there will eventually be something more up to your speed as the Rippaverse grows. If not, that's fine too. But fans, this is about you. I thank each and every one of you for this welcoming fandom that you've helped build. I appreciate you going to bat for myself, this company, and everybody in between. You should be rewarded for your efforts. The best way that I can do that is to improve in not only my creativity, but with these engagements and my contributions to this fandom. It'll be a little weird for everybody, like I keep saying, but it's what's best. I'm going to take my own advice and get even more focused up. There's a lot of work to do, and it's time that I act like an actual publisher that's building a media company, not a YouTuber. 2024 is the year of greatness, evolution, reinvention.
I feel like Eric is saying the right
blast.
things. He's saying the things that somebody is telling him that he needs to say. So that's good. That's great. I do. Oh, I'm going to get jacked right here. I appreciate the sentiment here, but let's take a look at a different perspective. So this is
anyway. No, we don't want to do that. We
EBS's
just want to point out, and if they won't
take
listen because I'm
Eric's
talking to them as
apology
friends,
video.
they can listen this way. They can.
I don't really know anything about this.
And just
Ethan Van Sciver. I know that he's
I told Eric July
writer.
Through this show, I said, look, your views are down. Your channel is dying, and the reason why your channel is dying.
I know he's very right wing.
Nobody wants to hear you talk about the Rippaverse.
And that's about all I know about.
I don't think you understand what the Rippaverse is to your fan base. The Rippaverse is like some fucking project that you've decided to take on. It's like you're like their kid, I guess.
God.
And you've decided that you want to start a rock band in the garage, and they have to support you. And they have to do what they can. And frankly, they don't want to hear the music. They just want you to be happy. So I said, they don't want to hear this. The reason why you have fans in the first place is because you used to make videos.
Nobody cares about it, really.
Hoe-ass roads. Like, you used to say things like that were really, really stupid, but kind of fun. And people wanted to see and hear you make political content, comment on what was going on at Marvel and DC and Disney and all this stuff. So people don't want to hear you talk about Rippaverse. Nobody really likes Rippaverse. There aren't people who really like Rippaverse. It's a vanity project that you're doing. You should get back to just get back to doing your political content. And it's like, let me see here. His videos lately. Pretty much microaggressions, blah, 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 blah. He's suddenly gotten back. All of these videos, all of these videos are exactly like, he's got one Rippaverse video here. He's got one.
I'm probably trying to
Rippaverse video here.
Take this.
What is this? My apologies. 11 minutes ago.
I really should.
Oh my God.
Move on to something else because I'm embarrassing
Let's find out
myself.
what this is. I haven't watched this. I don't know what this is. This is a Rippaverse apology video. Let's see it together here.
You know, friends that care about me have given me some very needed constructive advice recently. I've had some heart-to-heart private conversations. And for example, one of my bros and Jeremy from G&G, he had to hear from me a lot about that whole.
Eric trimmed his beard, which I'm happy to see. Eric, trim your beard a little bit more. Just keep it trimmed down. It doesn't need to look like that. You don't need
bald guys always do this. It's like I can't grow hair.
I know that
on the top of my head
in this space,
so I'm just going to grow really,
really long
on the side of my face.
Okay. It looks a little bit funny. Honestly, when certain individuals let their beards just grow down to here,
Come on,
they
Ethan.
look like
You're
sort of
wearing
Mormon
a hat
prophets
too.
from the
You're
1800s. Not the best look
goes.
in 2024, but it doesn't happen for you.
This is bald on bald crime
like
right
this,
here.
And, you look much better when you go ahead and whack that down a little bit. Much, much better. I like this.
Yeah,
old Zack Snyder situation when we spoke privately, and he took it. And like the good friend that he is, he reciprocates, man. And knowing that there's some things that I should improve on.
People reciprocate. Now, hold on a second. Let me back up here for a minute. Every frame of pause. I love it. Let me back up for just 1 minute, Eric. The Zack Snyder situation. Oh my God.
This is the context.
So if you don't know, like, the Zack Snyder situation was essentially Geeks and Gamers started working with an NFL football player. What was that guy's name? It began with a U. It was like Uganda or something like that. This guy,
Unitas,
former NFL player, and because this guy had some connections, somehow, he was doing a show, like a sports show for Jeremy Griggs. Somehow he got connected with what's his name, Snyder, Zack Snyder.
Old
Zack
what's his
Snyder
name?
was
Zack
in the process
Snyder.
of putting out the
Ever heard of him?
HBO re-edited Zack Snyder version of his horrible, catastrophic bomb of a film, which
we can all agree that's
I
not
just got
good. At least
$8,000 for. Oh, it's Uche. Yeah, Uche. Oh, I just want to say shout out to I got my royalty, so they another $8,000 for that shitty film. Thank you, appreciate that. In addition to everything I got before, so thank you for
brag.
that. Shout out,
not even humble.
That's what Eric says. Anyway, Snyder appeared somehow. Uche.
It's not like you created
to
Superman. Ethan, settle down.
A bunch of them were sitting up there looking like the Brady Bunch. And he, like, the opening screen of the Brady Bunch. And Zack Snyder showed up and basically just called them all racist. It was really uncomfortable. Like, he just kind of said, look, I didn't agree to this. I didn't agree to be seen with Geeks and Gamers. I didn't agree. In fact, I told you in private not to brand my charity with your logo. And I really resent this. My movies are kind of about my movies save lives. There are Asians out there that are being beaten to death in the streets by people of color right now in California. Asian hatred and violence. And my movies are meant to stem that tide of Asian violence. I resent being here with you. I feel like I was trapped here. I feel like I was tricked. Your videos, the things that you say, I feel increase the temperature of the hatred on the streets. And therefore, all of you should be ashamed of yourself and fuck you. So I didn't say fuck you, but it was kind of like that, right? That's what I heard when I was watching it. Like I was getting something else. I heard him directly say "fuck you guys." That's what I heard, through the screen. So I got very, very angry, and I said, "Let me on there. Let me on." I was in the audience. Now, ordinarily, Jeremy would be like, "You want the link? Here you go."
Perception is reality.
From
that
sounds like a
episode.
I don't know why.
Woman's
so I said, "Fine, I'm going to go over and do it on my channel." I went on my channel and I raised.
I perceived that I was sexually harassed by
all
Zack
of
Snyder.
his audience came over to listen to me, including Eric July. Eric July came and sat on that stream. And agreed with me, and then eventually, kind of sheepishly,
I agree that you were
Jeremy
sexually
Griggs asked
harassed
me
by Zack
for my
Snyder.
link, and I let him in where you guys roasted the hell out of him. And that's why, if people want to know why Jeremy Griggs is mad at me, Jeremy Griggs is mad at me because I sat in there on the stream after lecturing everybody about how that was the worst thing possible to allow Zack Snyder to insult this audience and call them racist and implied that they're a hate group. Without nobody having the courage to stand up to him and say something else. And by the way, what's his name here? Eric July and Nerdrotic agreed with me in private. So Jeremy's just sitting there hearing all this, and you guys are pouring super chats in. And every super chat is calling Jeremy Griggs a cuck. And I said, I'm sorry, these are super chats. I've got to read them. And Jeremy said, I understand. Okay, so we got $10 here that from Grumpy Old Ninja saying,
that's just kind of like
Jeremy Griggs, fuck you, you're a cuck, you're a piece of shit, how dare you, what a loser.
You're giving me money, okay, you're writing this message, and
here's another $5 super chat.
I'll read it.
Jeremiah
it's like an understanding.
And anyway, that went on all night, and Jeremy sat there. And I said, I'm sorry, these are super chats.
You don't have to insult your guest because
there's a whole other
somebody is paying you money
to read. So I did that to Jeremy. Jeremy,
that's you being a dick,
complained that he felt that
I'm on board with it. I'm just saying it's not a rule. It's not a hard, fast law that you have to follow.
To yell at him, I didn't mean to monetize him.
Yeah,
I wasn't even trying to make any money. I was just talking about what had happened there and how angry I was. And you guys were angry too. And you were paying me to yell at Jeremy. I honestly. It would have gone the same way. I would have said the same shit if I had received $0.00 because that's who I am. Eric July apparently is now saying that he took Jeremy aside in private and had a man-to-man discussion with Jeremy. Now, I think what this is trying to say, what Eric is trying to say here is that Ethan should have done that. He's saying, I did that. And Eric July did that. But Ethan should have said whatever he wanted to say to Jeremy in private. A lot of that. There's this sort of like demand for secrecy and keeping you guys out of what goes on. I don't agree with that. I think what we're YouTubers. I think any complications, difficulties, disagreements that we have should be aired out in public. That's what I think. And they call that drama farming. I call that honesty. I call that respecting the audience.
Okay.
Anyway, that's what I think. That's what Eric July is saying.
Trolling
your
enemies. To hear from
enemies.
me a lot about that whole Zack Snyder situation when we spoke privately, and he took it, and like the good friend that he is, he reciprocates, man. And knowing that there's some things that I should improve on, he recently let me hear it, and it was perspective that I needed,
like,
and it was also echoed by other people. It's been difficult sort of adjusting to this new reality. I went from being the streamer that was very interactive with even my haters to now the owner of a multi-million-dollar business. And though I've gotten better,
we're all the owners of multi-million-dollar businesses. All of our YouTube channels make millions of dollars. Here's the thing, like YouTube actually lets us
not this one.
Money, though. Eric, I'm pretty sure your YouTube channel makes. Have you made close to, you know? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe not.
Oh, scoreboard.
I don't think your business is worth millions of dollars. I don't. Sorry.
Not completely shook off those old habits. That's part of learning to move differently. And I have to learn to accept that this is a new chapter. That's why I've been saying that I'm moving differently in 2024. The growth.
Who told you move differently? Who put that phrase in your head? What person in your life said you've got to move differently? No human being on the face of the fucking earth uses the phrase move differently for anything. Nobody says that. You say that every single goddamn day, and you move exactly the same. You're still doing everything that you used to do, except now you seem to be afraid of confrontation.
He's trying to level up.
Who says move differently? It is the weirdest thing in the world, dude. It sounds like this. I'm moving differently.
Yeah.
You're not moving differently. Why? Who told you that? Dude, this is the thing about like whatever I say, whatever anybody else says goes into his brain, and he's like, it is NPC programming, and he just spits it out. It becomes like a caricature. Stop saying move differently. Stop it. God damn it. It's enough. Sorry.
Growth of the Rippaverse changed everything, including my own life. The one thing I admittedly do not like are people going after my employees and friends, and our explosion made some people feel some kind of way. And unfortunately, this means that people will be caught in the crossfire. I have no problem making myself vulnerable with this. But as an example, the Saskia sisters have been nothing but awesome to myself, this company, and its fans. I take great exception to the recent attacks against them, and they're being penalized for decade-old.
He's speechless.
Here's Eric July from June 28th, 2022. This is just 18 months ago. 18 months ago, Eric July said this. If you employ people, do not hire SJWs. Yeah. I'm not talking about someone with one liberal view. I'm talking about raging SJWs. There are talented, non-leftist people needing work, and they won't be nearly the headache. Parallel economy. Reciprocate. I don't know what these have to do with anything. Why? What happened?
I'm so upset about what Eric July's hypocrisy.
What happened? What's going on?
Threw a stick of dynamite under my truck.
These two daughters of Satan. What is going on with you? They are SJWs, Eric. Why are you white knighting for radical left-wing feminist? I honestly can't fucking believe it. You are moving differently.
There it is.
100% correct.
Yeah, I'm moving differently.
Sorry, baby, I'm yelling again.
It's supporting SJW women.
Ethan's down there yelling. How is this guy like this?
So he's turned a corner.
I really, truly don't understand. There's some attacks on the Saskia sisters. You're hiring satanic. You're hiring. You actually called it a witch hunt, which was pretty funny. You know, earlier today, you were on a live stream with what's his name, Heel versus Babyface.
What?
And I tuned in for a minute.
Baby face?
And a
What
minute
the
was
fuck
all
are you
I
talking
needed.
about?
Didn't take very much of it, dude. It really is dumb. They talk about like video games and, you know, it's not very bright stuff.
Is it,
and here's what you said. You said,
what is this
just
game?
today. This is unbelievable, dude. This is what you said just today. Square this circle for me, Eric.
Not just gaming,
Okay.
but and obviously in comic
He's
books.
wearing a tank
They
top.
invited these fuckers in.
Yes.
And they didn't have a nutsack to say,
If there's one thing I know,
okay,
it's don't wear a tank top on the internet.
fuck off. Like,
Because sheep were inviting the wolves in.
yeah.
That's
They're talking about feminists, by the way.
Silver.
I might add. They were talking about feminists when they said this. They're talking about feminists. Oh, sheep invited. They don't have the nutsack. Okay.
why. And then the wolves just went, oh, I'm going to fucking eat you all. And you're going to pay me for it.
Yeah, you're going to pay me to fuck your shit up. That's what,
Yes,
that's what's gonna
Eric.
happen.
That's what the Saska sisters are saying. You're going to pay me. And by the way, twice as much. For some reason, you've got this thing about doubling. You've got this thing about it taking two people to do the work of one person. You know, you've got Kanan White to sort of make sure that your artist on ISOM actually draws something. And then you're paying two writers to do the job of one, and these two sisters.
Well, you pay them the salary of one, and if you know,
let me start this.
if it takes them
in context. Now you know they were talking about
the amount of work of two people to do
not just
work of one,
gaming,
and you pay
but
them
and
one.
obviously in
It
comic
happens
books.
all the time.
They invited these fuckers in.
You did.
Yes.
And they didn't have a nutsack to say, okay, fuck off. Like,
Because sheep were inviting the wolves in.
yeah.
That's why. And then the wolves just went, oh, I'm going to fucking eat you all. And you're going to pay me for it.
Yeah, you're going to pay me to fuck your shit up. That's
Yeah.
that's
right.
what's going to happen. You're going to pay me to fuck your
You're
shit
gonna
up.
pay
And
them
this
to
is
fuck
why-
your shit up.
Sweet Baby Inc.
Yes, you pay
Yeah.
me for I'll fuck it up. That should
Yeah.
be a new like slogan. Sweet baby, if you're watching this, you
We
can
will
adopt
fuck up your shit.
They will. Yeah.
that. There you go. You can have that one for free for sure. But seriously,
It's funny, but seriously, how do you not see this? You know what? I mean, here's the whole thing. I understand that, you know, these young ladies are friendly and everything. But you understand that Kelly Sue DeConnick, everybody says the
come
same
on.
thing about
Are you
her in the
kidding?
comic book industry. Those young ladies, those individuals who you have been saying ruined the comic book industry for the past 6 years, everybody says the same thing about them. They love them. They're so friendly. They're just, hey, everybody. So, I mean,
Being
you
friendly
understand,
doesn't
you know, it's
equal,
like what you're saying here. You
good
have
comics
been
or
hypnotized.
good movies.
Those young ladies
Whatever.
are
You know,
radical,
it's like
intersectional feminists.
Go watch
and they
fucking
make no bones
My Little
about it.
Pony and
Those young ladies have very
Powerpuff Girls.
very
If you want
strange
friendly
taste
shit.
in entertainment, horror, all of these things. Those young ladies have instincts to subvert, you know, what it is that we're building here, that everybody's building this space outside of the space that they already ruined. I mean, that's why we're here. We're here doing this because they have poisoned the ground
it was
in the
lost?
mainstream.
It's
So
still
we've got to
dragging.
do
What the
this.
fuck's going on?
Eric, you know, listen, I'm telling you, and we're telling you, I think everybody is telling you at this point. I think they're probably really nice young ladies, like personable, but they are exactly the forces that you were fighting against your entire YouTube career. This is a moment to find out if you had the nutsack to tell them to fuck. What did you say? Hold on a second. Let me double check that again.
No,
What did you
whatever.
say
I
that
mean, I
everybody
haven't
should have
read
done
their
but couldn't
fucking
do?
work, so
Not
I can't
just,
speak to that.
gaming, but and obviously in comic books, they invited these fuckers in.
Right. That's what you did. And you made them editors of your company. And you made them, what did you say? Keepers of the lore. So they're the ones who get to decide the continuity and of the Rippaverse. That's what they're doing. Okay.
And they didn't have a nutsack
They didn't have a nutsack to do what?
to say, okay, fuck off.
Right. They didn't have the nutsack. They didn't have a nutsack to say, okay, fuck off. I do. By the way, don't hire any women ever. Don't, dude. Just don't do it. It's a bad idea. No matter what, women in men's spaces, only bad things can happen.
All right, now I don't know what.
Only terrible things can happen. Is this irrelevant? You leave those good Irish boys, the irrelevance out of this.
The men's spaces, Ethan? I mean, I
from Dublin.
Appreciate you pointing out that Eric July is a hypocrite. Let's go back to his
apology video here. He's talking about people being caught in the crossfire of this war that he is imagining in his head.
You just mean comics?
And really, nobody's being caught in the crossfire at all. All right, go ahead.
Out of context posts. One in particular is them, twins spotting other twins from a set van and tweeting about it. Of course, Ethan with horror, there's going to be some.
Well, what actually happened was, and I don't have that photo pulled up.
Come on.
Listen. There's a picture that
Ethan
they
should be sitting in his pickup truck with his Oakley blades on, doing this video.
I'm here to do it. This is my job. I'm here to undo all these lies. That's what Trashcast is. I just said that on Twitter today. I said, you know what I'm going to do here? My job is going to be to undo the lies and the bullshit that's being said here. And I don't want to because I'm tired and I'm a little bit lazy. I had a long day today. But no. I'll do it. I'll do it. And we'll take a look at this photo that he's saying is out of context, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, this was something that I saw and I kind of went, this is no big deal. Like, I'm not gonna make a big deal about this. Because it's just not, it's not what people are saying it is, but it's also really inappropriate. And if these were my kids, I would be pissed. I would be absolutely pissed about this. This was a big deal 2 days ago. And by the way, the other thing about this is we don't talk about things that are actually like, we're not talking about the vomit porno, are we? Maybe we are. Maybe we get to that.
Whoa. Finally, now you have my attention.
And
vomit porno.
Go. Share this instead. Saska sisters taking pics from the Luca Gore film rape van. Hold on a second here.
Rape van.
Taking pics from the Luca Gore film rape van of twin little boys on the street. So cute.
Come on.
That's legit twinning. These two little kids on the street. Creepy individual here. You can kind of see them in the
what
mirror.
Is this?
Objects in mirror closer than they appear. Watch out, little kids. There's some spooky women who are sisters who kiss each other, tongue kiss each other in vomit, pissing.
Come on, dude. I bet it's all real. I bet they're put on social media how they
videos. Because you have to be 18.
Go after little kids.
And they're taking pictures of these two kids and they're calling them twins and they're relating because they're twins too. And we know what they do because they're twins. And in spite of the fact that they are
as a
twins,
twin, fuck you.
And they're shooting from the rape van, from a rape van.
Yeah, I'm sure that's
inappropriate.
I'm sure that's legit.
Eric, that's inappropriate. And I know it happened a long time ago, like 9 years ago, but you can't defend that. Like,
no one's ever made a rape van joke before, Ethan.
Cool.
Can
you imagine?
How dare they
down the street and with your children, and then these young ladies here. Hold on, these two.
Oh my god, this is Eric's gotcha thing. Who the fuck are these two?
Are taking photographs of your kids.
Come on,
from their rape van. Eric? What are you talking about? I don't.
Everybody sucks.
Oh, it's out of context.
In this Rippaverse.
A long time ago. All right, let's go back to Eric here. And this is the thing about videos like this with Eric, he kind of will rush through these points, and so you're just you just take them for granted. No, we'll take apart every single word you say, Eric. I think you're a liar, and I don't like you.
He definitely
and I used to like
is
you. We used to have a
saying
lot
the
of fun
things
together.
that he thinks he needs
But
to say.
I think you're a liar. That's my opinion. You're a liar, and I don't like you. I've decided that over the past 3 days. Took me a minute, you know. I caught up with some other people, I guess, but I don't like you because I don't think you're honest at all, and that's my opinion. Here we go.
Some things that people find repugnant, and I don't need to defend anything, justify anything that I had nothing to do with. It can be inappropriate, raunchy, and degenerate, but I don't have to disavow something that I had.
You hired them and you put them in charge of your company, where you are selling comic books to a largely Christian audience. You realize that your audience is mostly Christian, right?
I mean, it is American.
Because most of the people that are buying your books are like, hey, I really disagree with what's going on with the mainstream. I feel like Ethan, they don't reflect my values and disrespect my values actively. And so, you know, you look at your face. You're like, I don't have to disavow it. And the video game people that you and Egghead over there were just laughing about, they don't have to disavow anything either. They didn't have to do anything like
Ghost
that.
Ghost Rider is just them, not Christian.
Wolves that were led in by
Christian
dumb
values of
Isn't
Ghost
that what
Rider
you were just saying? They don't have to disavow. They don't have to take credit for ruining your shit. What if your shit, the shit that you're making, means something to Christian people who are buying it for $35 and more? People who are opening new credit cards
That's too much.
And going into debt for $700 in some cases to support you because they believe that you would never stand for this, that you know this is wrong. What do you want to say to them? I don't have to say anything to them. I don't owe them nothing. What about your code of ethics? Respect the customer. What about your specific customers? You care about your customers at all? Do you care about them? I mean, you get them their product on time.
I don't like
I could learn a thing
Christian
or two about you from you about
Iron
that
Man
in regards to that. My books are going to take a little bit longer, but there's no Satanism or feminism in them, which is good.
Ethan would never.
But I mean, you realize you're employing people who
it's not Christian. Daredevil, Devils in
customer base.
Did he write that? I don't know.
And
what the fuck did this guy work on?
Had nothing to do with. But some are taking these films that they've acted in very early on in their careers, and they're treating it as if they were real. Everybody that has worked with them, from Dean Cain to Glenn Jacobs, they always have nothing but good things to say about them, and they've grown so much as individuals. I've had those conversations with Jen.
Those films actually were kind of real. They were
all the senators that.
Which I guess
Christian values
incest,
are the first people
when you're tongue
to get a
kissing
rub
your
and tug
sister,
from a dude in a bathhouse.
And in the film, you're not even pretending that you're not sisters. You are sisters, and you are actually like drinking real urine, according to somebody's testimony. Having seen, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not watching this film. And you are vomiting on each other. And the guy who made these films is somebody who prided himself on realism because he was fucking his sister until she committed suicide. Some of that's real, Eric. Some of that, it's art, Ethan. It's called art, says Froghorn. That's true. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. It is art. It is art. And nevertheless, it is also disgusting, repellent, and of the devil. And it can still be art and be that as well. That stuff is real, Eric. It's actually real. All right.
And about reconnecting with God, and those conversations have been amazing. And truly, that's who she answers to, not me or you. You all know how young and dumb I'm connecting with.
Some of that, it's art, Ethan. It's fucking his. I'm not watching this film. And you are vomiting on each other. And the guy who made these films is somebody who prided himself on realism because he was fucking his sister until she committed suicide. Some of that's real, Eric.
Some of it's real?
Some of that, it's art, Ethan. It's called art, says Froghorn. That's true. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. It is art. It is art. And nevertheless, it is also disgusting, repellent, and of the devil. And it can still be art and be that as well. That stuff is real, Eric. It's actually real. All right.
And about reconnecting with
Now
God.
we're really
and
unpacking shit.
those conversations have been amazing. And truly, that's who she answers to, not me or you. You all know how young and dumb I was, so I take exception, again, to people operating as if repentance, forgiveness, and growth aren't a thing.
Why don't they say that? Where are they? Are they in this? Let me scan ahead. Oh, they're not. They're not in this.
Social media mobs trying to claim that there are these satanic feminist SJWs trying to infiltrate is insane. I'll give you another example. They are now against this trans stuff that's being pushed onto these minors, and you can see that maturation yourselves in those conversations that we've had about stuff on our streams.
Put them here. Have them say that. Talk about how they found Jesus Christ and renounce all of this stuff, because they're still talking about trans stuff as of 2 years ago, Eric. I appreciate your speaking for them, but I don't believe you. And frankly, I'm not even sure I believe them.
After all, I did learn about them writing Marvel's Black Widow, a story in which Nat takes it to traffickers and pedophiles, which is far more recent a thing to judge them by. It sucks that people are attacking them due to these social political views that they also no longer even have. They are not some raging SJWs, and this has nothing to do with them, as they are a means to an end. They are being used to simply attack me and having to relive things that they've long moved on from. But I would never fire anybody over social media mobs and will stand by my employees. As I said before, I wanted to solve economic problems by building this business.
Right,
Eric, they're currently working on another SJW version of, currently right now, they're making a movie about, a lesbian and a strong Black female lead who are fighting zombies. Night of the Living Dead. It's called, what is it called? Promenade of the Living Dead, something like that. Where are they to denounce all of these things? I want to hear about how they've turned their lives over to Jesus Christ. I'd love to hear that. That'd be amazing. Why are you here saying this and not them? Bizarre. I'd love to hear that. That'd be awesome.
Well, I don't want people to feel like their livelihoods are controlled by mobs instead of their performance. Even if what I said about these individual politics, if it weren't the case, it wouldn't matter because it has nothing to do with the Rippaverse. We don't do that political hive mind thing over here. I will work with anybody that respects our vision and our customers as long as they are good for the job. I'm protective of what we are building. Even I separate my personal political views from the content of the Rippaverse. Find the irony in an ANCAP creating a superhero cop team like Alpha Corps. Everybody knows to leave it all at the door. And should personal views get in the way of business, they won't be here. We can't really be infiltrated. I'm the 100% sole owner. We don't have a board, and we bring people in based on merit. However, I'll never be a fan of cancel pigs going after people that work for us or with us. They don't deserve that. This has even happened with content creators being roped into foolishness that they want no parts of. I started this company to fix problems and have a return to normalcy. I can only control what I can control. I have a lot more clarity, though, in what I need to do. I've reached a status that transcends anything I've done before. I'm going to be loved, and I'm certainly going to be hated. And people are going to make up some wild things about myself and my company, and there's nothing I can do to really change that. Lies claiming that I've attacked other creators that I never did. Lies about me attacking economic models that I never did. Lies about our company's cash flow and funding. There's nothing I can do to really change the perception that some people have of me. They'll conjure up whoever they need me to be for their own narratives. So here's what I'm going to do. I need to fully embrace being the owner of a multi-million-dollar business.
You keep
and
saying
I need to
this.
show that with my online interaction. So
Eric, you keep saying stuff like this. You keep saying that you're going to move differently and that you're going to accept suddenly being the owner of a multi-million-dollar business. You keep saying these silly things. And also, you're holding every other. You've spent your
Why is
time
that
on
silly,
YouTube
though?
holding every other company
don't try to
a completely
defend
different
Eric, but
standard
it's not
that you
silly.
refuse to hold yourself to. They are SJWs, Eric. No matter what they tell you, I've been through this. I've seen it, and I've also heard people like Dan DiDio say exactly the same thing that you said. We just hire people. All we do here at DC is we hire people based on merit. 2010, Dan DiDio was up at a pulpit convention. I think it was WonderCon, being confronted by a bunch of feminists who said, why aren't there more women working for DC Comics? There should be more women working here. And Dan said, what do you mean? Like, we hire whoever's best for the job. Women are best for the job. And then they started listing what names? Started listing some of the most heinous feminists, the ones that you've been talking about with heel versus babyface, the ones that you talk about with Nerdrotic, and backed Dan into a corner. Dan hired them all. Dan went from 1% female creators at DC and ballooned it all the way up to like 22%. And they subverted the company, and he had to go. He's no longer there.
22% of
DC Comics.
Of 10 people,
Comics
one woman.
What it is now, exactly what, as I describe it, strange women came in. Strange women initially come in and they're very happy to be here. They're really excited. They start love bombing everyone. Some people buy into it.
God, this guy hired one woman.
No different than anyone else.
He ruined the comic book industry.
In fact, you're dumber. Eric, you're dumber than Dan DiDio. Way dumber. You're dumber than everyone else who still thought that they could resist this. That they were too smart. That they were too powerful. Way dumber. They're going. I
don't know anything about this
company.
But Eric, I know that
if it's
there's not
around,
100 people working at.
Watch. It's not going to happen right away.
Whatever company he's talking about.
Take a minute.
And if it was,
but they are going to
22% of 100 people would be 2
it's amazing
women.
That you spent
so
this
what
long
are you fucking worried
on
about?
YouTube talking about SJWs and you still don't understand them, and you were immediately seduced by them. Immediately, with your $1 million company.
All right. It's just a whole nother angle on being a dickhead about this. I don't know. Do we have the time for one more? I have one more. Let's see. This is Eric clapping back.
Antoine says EVS stated you threaten him unless he stops playing the middleman and choose a side. Threaten him.
Oh, fuck. This is 20 minutes long.
I can't. I'm not going to even respond to that because I would hope that that's not what.
My problem is these streams on my Xbox or Xbox. What the fuck am I talking about? They're only an hour long, so I'm gonna have to run a second one. But I think I'm just gonna do it because I gotta squeeze this all in.
That person said, and I can't. Antoine says EVS stated you threaten him unless he stops playing the middleman and choose a side. Threaten him. I can't. I'm not going to even respond to that because I would hope that that's not what that person said. And I can't confirm it because I'm not going to do this word of mouth shit. I'm just not. So I would hope that that's not a thing that was claimed. Someone said, so I got a text saying someone's dropping private tweets on Twitter from me. What? Let me let's go there and see what's up.
Eric's getting some receipts right now. This just in. Eric July's a cunt.
Okay. Let's go through this real quick. Okay. So
okay, all right.
we'll read through this. So which
Let's snack
again,
this down.
kind of corny, but it is what it is. We'll address it. Ethan or Cyberfrog HD has posted a DM to me.
The least
and this is what he says. He says, this is me. And this is what it is that I said. This is corny, by the way. I don't like to be putting up personal DMs like that.
Fucking
I guess
Toad.
that's what we're doing here. So bet that.
EBS is
and he says, this is what I said. I said, I'm going to be 100 with you and not be public with this. So me trying to approach it as, again, a person that I'm cool with and saying that, hey, I'm going to address it with you privately.
He's not cool
this person has opted to Ethan has opted to just go public with it. So he didn't offer me that courtesy because, I saw this as someone that we're cool with. And so he puts it out there in public. Great. This is what I said. I said, you're going out of your way to play middle of the road publicly with a dude that is going out of his way to work overtime to publicly defame is whack, right? It's even weaker that you lay credence to their narrative. I treat you like I do anybody else in this space, and I do not use my platform to amplify narratives that go against others I'm cool with. Everybody I do shows and streams knows not to bring up any gripes with people I'm cool with, as I will not give it the time of day. I'm going to start reciprocating on that. If you want to chat about it, you're free to call. Okay? So
I'm giving him quarter. He doesn't want it.
And I'll be completely honest about what this is about, right? So how I operate, if I'm cool with you, and again, maybe this is a cultural thing.
With anyone though, Eric?
And by the way, this is not me. I haven't threatened anybody here. So if that's what you're showing, that this is a threat, that's interesting. But okay. I'll explain even further for the audience because there's nothing here.
Please do. Jesus.
Let's say this, if there is someone that I am cool with, I do not go on their platforms or have them on my platforms to air that out. I just don't. That's not how I operate. That's not how I ever have operated. And people know that. Yes, I have people on my stream, right? I have people on my stream that
could you be any more general?
May not be cool with other people that I'm also cool with. Okay. So what I don't do is allow them to hash that out there. I will not allow it. Let's say if someone doesn't like, I'm cool with someone and they don't like Jeremy.
Oh my God. What are you talking about?
Jeremy is on a stream of mine. Oh, excuse me. That person comes on a stream of mine. They don't get to go on my stream. That's not to say that they can't have an opinion and don't like Jeremy. That's fucking, they're free to do that. But what they can't do is come to my stream and start airing that stuff out. I just won't allow that.
Why not?
However, other people don't feel that way. So I, as a man, and we talked about this, Ethan, personally, right? Told you where it is that I am coming from on this. And I thought we were good. I thought we were good on that.
Church as Ethan.
But now you're airing out personal DMs, which again, why? And that personal DMs as I tried to address you as a man and as someone that I thought we were cool to just tell you, hey man, this is you are acting in the way that I don't act. And that if that's the rules for engagement, that's cool. Right? If that's cool. That's all I said. That's cool. If that's the rules for engagement, as I said, I'm going to start reciprocating. That's all that means. If you don't feel that anything that you have done is an error, you have nothing to worry about. Nothing. That's it. Nothing. You have nothing to worry about. And I don't go out of my way to do that. I don't take opportunities to go take shots, and I don't lend credence to people as they take shots at you. I don't do that. However, what the fuck? And now he's in the chat. He says, let's be honest about it. You're trying to what are you talking about, Ethan? Trying to silence you. What are you talking about? How is this trying to silence? You are a grown man with your own platform. How on earth can I silence you?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, homie?
That's pretty funny.
The fuck?
We're a bunch of babies. It's two babies. He's crying at each other.
What are you talking about? Silent? How am I trying to silence you? And again, man, this is me on a personal tip. It's a personal tip, bro. We supposed to be cool. I can't talk to you in private, clearly, because maybe that obviously to you, we weren't cool like that. I just tried to approach it.
God damn it.
Honestly, like, dude, I'm not stupid. I see this. And specifically, and I've talked to him about this, what we're talking about with this whole amplifying of narratives, it's a very simple concept, right? It's a very, very simple concept. It's all right. Ethan recently tried to play the whole, prior to this, there is a me versus some other person thing going on. And I said, and I told him this personally, I said, hey, bro, like, that's not cool. There is no me versus this guy going down. This is this dude is obsessed with myself, and I'm the responding agency at best. What are you talking about being silenced? And how could you approach me trying to, a guy that I thought I was cool with privately as an issue? And then we talked after this. Did we not talk about it? We talked about it on the phone, and it was all good. We talked about it on the phone. There was nothing. We got an understanding. And now it's all I'm gonna put his DMs on black. What the fuck? I ain't done nothing to you, bro. What was the point of this? What are you trying to do? And like I said, this is something that I stand by. This is what people that I thought were cool do. You go directly to the person privately if you think there is an issue there. Why on earth would you do this?
Because you hired a woman, apparently. You don't go to church enough, and you hired a woman.
And again, it's not that big of a deal. All you did here is say that conversations that we have with you are not like, you don't find anything like sacred there. I approached a man that I was cool with. To simply say, hey, the way that you're approaching this is not how I would do it. This is not. That's it. That's it.
This is too funny.
Why on earth would you do that? And like I said, there's no harm here, bro. There's no harm here. This is me going to the person directly. That's what people would encourage me to do. Go to someone privately and simply say, hey, I see this is playing out. You're not offering me the same courtesy. So I'm going to start acting start reciprocating on that.
A dick being a bigger dick I said, fucking giant.
We can chat about it. Let's get some clarification. And we did. And then you walked away from that months after the fact, I guess because maybe you find this to be an opportunistic time for you to do this for whatever reason. To air out DMs? What the fuck is this? I don't go knocking you like that, and I've never done that to him.
Oh my God. I think this is a good place to pause it. This is fucking great. Oh man, I'm really happy that I started doing this, and it's really giving me a little more context to something I know nothing about. I hope it's giving you guys more context to whatever. Why would anybody fucking care about this? Oh my god, the guy that writes fucking Green Lantern doesn't like the guy that writes ISOM or what? Who fucking cares, dude? It's all kiddie shit, but it's fun, and I'm having fun, and I'm hoping you guys are having fun. So, thanks for checking this out, and I'm gonna try and dig in and find even more about this because I think it's pretty hilarious. But till next time, stay sorry.